Hello and welcome to True Guidance Tarot. I'm Adriana Teodoro-Dier. I'm a spiritual medium and intuitive card reader. And I've got a message today for Virgos, and it might be for just one specific Virgo because they're telling me a very specific narrative. If you're new to the channel, welcome. By they, I mean my guides, which is the connection to spirit. And so with these readings, it's my intention to bring forth really deep and meaningful messages that will help to guide you through your week with a more spiritual perspective. So let's get started. I'm just going to say the story that they're telling me. And even if this is not you, I feel like if you're watching this video, there's still going to be something in it for you. So thanks so much for sticking with it. We've got the Knight of Cups as the energy around you. And what they're saying to me is this is a Virgo. I'm talking right now to a Virgo who's kind of lost their way. And it's kind of like you've been doing the same old for so long that your heart is just kind of feeling flat. And suddenly something this week sparks you to awaken to that heart again. It's kind of like the heart was sleeping all winter and then it wakes up and it starts vibrating a little bit. And you start to look around at your world a little bit differently. You start to see things in a different way than you have. And it's like things have a little bit more spark, a little bit more meaning. And you feel more emotionally connected to little things. They're showing me like little flowers coming up through the soil. And I know it's not spring right now. I mean, like we're in the middle of summer, but it's this feeling of springtime, of newness, of like, oh, wow, I've never seen that before. It's like this childlike sense of awe. And so something in you is going to feel that this week. And it's going to cause you, we've got the Ace of Swords, it's going to cause you to make a new intention. I'm guessing that, you've been feeling so dead and so just blah for so long that you're like, you know what? I'm ready to do this. I'm ready to actually do something that stimulates me, that makes my heart feel alive, that makes me feel more passionately connected. It's like you've got a new lease on life and you're like, yes, this is the direction I want to go. I'm tired of that old stuff. I'm cutting it away. I am going this direction. So your story or your advice is really interesting. We've got the Ace of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Hanged Man. And so you being Virgo, you start to do the practical stuff like, all right, what do I need to do to make this happen? I'm going to start at square one and I'm going to build this up. And you're very focused on achieving this earthly goal of whatever it is you feel you have to do to make your heart sing and to make yourself feel connected in your world again. And you've got yourself focused on a very earthly process, a very slow moving process, but it's also that you're almost too focused. And what the thing is that what happened before was that you were so hyper focused on one aspect of your life, on one goal, that everything else fell flat. And that's why you had been feeling just kind of for a while. So we've got the Hanged Man. These are all headed toward the Hanged Man. So there's going to come a point where you can do your infrastructure laying of your infrastructure to a point, but then it's going to feel like you stop. It's like you hit a brick wall and you're just kind of like, oh, wait a minute. I was trying to move forward. I was trying to do what my heart was telling me. And then all of a sudden, it's like there's a stop. And what they're saying is that's okay. That's okay. It's good to stop because at this point, you need to wait, surrender to this experience, and understand that when you stop thinking so earthly, you get more divine inspiration. You get more connection to that heart. It's just, it's so funny to me because, you're so hyper practical. You get this feeling like a kind of romantic feeling like, oh, my soul is dead. I need to wake it up. And you're like, okay, great. I'm going to wake my soul up. Now I need to do X, Y, and Z. But the soul doesn't grow in increments. It's not a controlled thing. That's really nebulous sounding. The soul grows organically. The path of soul is a lot more fluid. It has moments of ebb, it has moments of flow, and you're a little bit trying to force that flow. So when you get to that stopping point, it's not that you're doing anything wrong. It's not that you're on the wrong path. You just have to understand that because this is connected to your soul, the timing happens differently. There, the concept of time and watch and what a minute means and what a second means, that's an earthly concept. It doesn't exist even out in space. It doesn't exist in the world where your soul lives, where your higher self lives. And when we try to force a soul-driven life into that compartment, we cut off some of the energy, we cut off some of the information, we cut off some of the passion, and we cut off the trust. Because what you are experiencing is a reawakening of the trust. And this stuff is just kind of coming in. That's why my voice is going in little snippets like that. It's just pouring in. You're reawakening that trust. And it was really the lack of that trust that was causing your world to be so flat. And you just need to trust that this soul growth, this soul path is not going to be a regular 9 to 5. It's going to come in spurts. It's going to come, there's a rhythm to it. There's a natural rhythm, but it's not something that we get to control or we get to predict. So this is just a word of heads up. Like, I know Virgos, you always want to know what's coming next. Like, you always want to know what's happening. When you feel that stopping point, do not panic, do not doubt, do not stop believing that you're on the right track. It's just that this is a moment where the universe kind of needs to resettle, catch up with you. It's an ebb moment. But every time it ebbs, it's going to flow if you let it. So just kind of ride it and trust it, and it's going to work out. And I know that's very trite sounding, but really it is, because this is a whole reinvention of the way you're looking at the world. This is a whole reinvention of the way you even look at yourself. So it is a process. It's not a goal. All right, so if you've got questions about that, please reach out. Please also like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps to support it. There's more information for you below if you want to find out a little bit more, and I'll look forward to seeing you next week.